Oh man, yeah, buddy. You know what, family? What's really good? I'm just doing a quick show. So if everybody is in the building, holla at your boy. Let me know that you're here quickly. So whoop. I'm gonna wait for you lot to just flood in real quickly. Let me just mute that out. Let's get it, baby. Let's get it. So who's here with me right now? Let me know. Scott gang in the building. Let me know who's here. Oh man, let's see. Miskin 18 is saying, "Yo, Wagwan Kalam was good. The best on the beast on the street. Who would want to debate you? Indeed, jeez, everybody's here. Titans. When am I debating with the Muslim? Do you know what, my brother, ex-Muslim and proud? I did this show for you, my brother. To be honest with you, I really did this show for you. So yeah, I really want to get these debates on and popping, okay? On and popping. So what I would love for you guys to do, yeah, I'm actually going to try to share this link with you. So let me know if this link actually works, because I know, you know, they've somehow stopped or stopped these links from actually working. Yo, man, like medicine, man, you know. Jeez, Sarah Garb in the building. Moon. Yeah, buddy. Because I got my brother Ziryab, who's actually been messaging me and saying, yo, you know, he wants a piece of ex-Muslim and proud. Let me actually get some of these messages up somewhere. You know what? It's going to be a long time. My computer's moving mad bookie already. So yeah, family, I actually want to get these debates on and popping. So this particular show is called Who Wants to Debate Me? Now, I know I'm using pure clickbait tactics. Hands up. Yeah, what I'm trying to say by this title is, yeah, who actually wants to debate? Yeah, put your hands up. Let me know who actually wants to debate. It doesn't necessarily have to be me. I'm not trying to debate, but who wants to debate somebody? Who wants to debate? Who thinks that they have some information that is powerful? Who could debunk somebody else's information? Who thinks that they've got some powerful information to present that nobody can't debunk? Let's get it in. Let's get it in. I really need to get these debates on and popping over here at Talk of the Titans. It's too cold outside. You know, it's freezing to be standing up outside all day long doing these debates. Okay, the link doesn't work. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do another way around, okay? I'm going to do another way around. I really don't even care if this particular video actually gets hacked like that, because it's just a throwaway video, baby. It's a throwaway video. So let's just hope that everybody else can come on. I'm actually in the description box right now. So literally check in the description box. You should be able to see the link for tonight's show, okay? The link for this show right now that's going on. If you want to join the panel, have, you know, your say something, anything, come in, please, come in. You know, I'm even seeing right now the Sunni Shia tag team against Wahhabi Speaker's Corner video, literally just down at the bottom right now. I'm thinking, yo, that was kind of a lit show still, you know, that was a real lit show. I had man like Saracen hollering at me literally on the day, on the spot, few minutes beforehand. Let's do a show. We did a show and it was popping still. So more of that, please, more of that. So if you don't want to get involved with the debates, let me know who we got in here right now. The beast is in him. So again, family, go to the description box. The link is literally down below in the description box. Click it. Come on, you know, talk with me, family, for a little while. I'm not even trying to do a long show. It's just a quick one. So talk to us and let's get it in. And again, please just hit the like button, man. Hit the like button from the get-go. From the get-go, baby. Oh man, young Cali, baby, yeah. So what you saying? The beast. What's good, family? Talk to me. Talk to me, King. Okay, all good, all good. I see you. I don't think your mic is working, but you're messaging away. Jeez, let them see what you're working with right now. Look at that. Hoo-wee. Hoo-wee. That's how we should be appearing, you know. Summertime. Catching your Speaker's Corner. I'm going to be appearing like that. Yeah, no problem, King. I hear you. So yeah, family, if you lot would like to join in, just click the link down below in the description box, and hopefully that should bring you in. Let me know if that does actually work. Definitely, Naz Shah says, definitely need more shows about Wahhabis. All right, Kalam, did you see the video of Muhammad Hijab debating a Ahmadi Muslim? No, I didn't actually. I didn't get to see that debate. I'm going to try to look into it. Let me know which channel it's on. Debate and ting, man, like Ansir in the building. Yeah, buddy. I need to get Ansir on here debating as well, you know. Like, Ansir is that no limit, no BS guy, you know. Like, let's start to talk BS, no patience for that. Let me cut that off real quickly. I need that energy on here. So let me know, guys, if you don't think you got some information that you think is powerful that cannot be debunked or critiqued in a negative way. Come on, show me what you've got. And if you think you've got the ability to actually you know, refute, somebody else's information, let it be known. Let it be known. Everyone running scared from Kalam the man. Oh man, allied atheist. I see you, King. Topic. Someone says here, topic. What exactly is real freedom and true justice for black people? A debate topic y'all running from. This must go. Yeah, that would be real good. You know, I need somebody on the panel for that. I need like Gabs, Sarah on the panel. Them man, they're like discussing this topic. That's a powerful topic still. Let's get it. Let me quickly go through. Antho, whatever, peace and love. Is the New Testament corrupted? Is the New Testament corrupted? Hey, like Atheist said, is the moon flat? Let's have a flat moon theory, a flat moon debate. The moon is flat, debate me. Jeez. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Please say what's good, family. What's hey, what's good? What's good? What's good? Who else is up in here? Let me just quickly check. I'm going right back to the beginning again. So yeah, let's get it in. Let's get it in. On what, bruv? You're going like I can do that, G. The best I can do. Oh no. Furthermore, the best I can do for you, Gabs, is this. Let me add your email onto this. Give me 1 second. Sugar, am I doing it the wrong way around? Let me do it like this. Apologies, family. Apologies, yeah? Let me get Gabs in the building. The wickedest thing is, I actually know your email off by heart, yeah? And it's a long email as well, you know? Jeez. Okay, bear with me, bear with me, bear with me. There we go. Got you. Got you. You're in the building right now. Okay. Let's see. Can I get back my ties from church? Yo, Ziryab. Let me get my brother Ziryab the link still. Hopefully, he can call out some shots for my brother. My brother. What's my brother's name again? Ex-Muslim and proud. I need him to call you out, G. I need him to call you out. So the links have been posted. The links have been posted. If you're watching live right now, listen, let me know. Okay, Ex-Muslim and proud. Go into the description box. The description box is literally down below. Look at it. Click onto it. It's got a Hangouts link. Literally click onto it. Let me know. Yeah, let me know. And let me actually send the link to Saracen as well, just in case. Let me Facebook. Where are you? Where are you, my brother? Where are you? Taking long. Okay, I have to plug my computer in or something or refresh it. I think I've got too much video clips on my computer. Moving mad slow. All right. All right. So Ziryab, you're in the building. Perfect. Ziryab. Yeah, I need you to talk greasy right about now. I need you to talk real greasy and call out ex-Muslim and proud. Yeah, call him out. Call him out. Yeah, because we need to get him on him. You can only get back in church times if you have. Ziryab is, hold on 1 second, is Ziryab Jamal is asking us in front of me at the present moment as a means of proving his existence. Too much for me to ask of him. Why and why not? Ooh, somebody's dropping some heat. Let me just quickly see. Cheddar Man. Or as Sarah would say, I'm your daddy. Yeah, we're going to have a conversation on the Cheddar Man real soon, family. Real soon, we're going to have a discussion on that. I'm just waiting. You know what? Let me just see. Let me do this. Now, I'll share my screen later on. I've got stuff lined up for that already. Melanated Goddess says, Time Steve always says he's going to make a short video where she keep me company for my commute home. So true, you know, so true. Bro, it's not working, acting up like last time. Okay. Did you see the Emperor? Okay. All right. I'm going to get at you, my brother, ex-Muslim and proud. Actually, you know what? Yeah, message me in the Hangouts here, the last Hangouts that we were all in. Message me in there, okay? If anybody would like to get in and has already been on the show, message me in the last Hangouts, okay? And then I can just quickly post the link in there to get you onto the show. Or you could simply post your email address inside of the comment section right now, and then I can literally copy that and put that into the invite section. But yeah, Ziryab, what are you saying, King? Talk to us. Ziryab, are you there? Let me just make sure.
Yeah. Give me 2 seconds.
Give me 2 seconds, G.
All right, no problem. All right, man, I filibust for a hot second. So yeah, family, tell me about what videos you lot been watching, what debates have you lot been seeing, what's been good, what videos should we be fact checking? Let's fact check together. We should just put on some videos right now, kick back for a hot second, and fact check some people. 10 videos are kind of big still, I'm not even gonna lie. Fifth Avenue full scholar, gang. Ex-Muslim Proud needs to be in the show. He's good for making lies. Shots fired already, Shots fired already. Boss, I've sent you a message on email. All right, cool. Say nothing. I hope Ziryab is ready, because it's very difficult to multitask. I'm only a man. I'm only human. That's what I was told to say, Anytime I walk out on the street, just remind yourself you're only human, even though you're a god. Let me stop it. I'm just joking, fam. I'm joking for you. I get some death threats. Let's see. Triple A, nobody. Okay. Yeah. And I've been having some fun actually in the comment section. I've had no fun in the comment section for ages. Because the comment section can be real toxic at times, yeah. Well, my last video, what was it called? Are you ignorant about Tawheed? Shamsi Bob Speaker's Corner video. That video when I done a review. I say it's a review, but I just kind of spoke. I just always speak my mind, to be honest with you. But I was speaking my mind on that video, and also. I speak my mind on that video, and I was also talking about my debate that I had as well. Now I've been having very interesting conversations inside of the comment sections as well. So check out the comment sections, family. Should always check out the comment sections. Drop your little comments and messages in there, and hopefully I'll respond to them. Yeah, let me just say hopefully. Ex-Muslim and Proud. Trust me, I've sent you the email already, King. I've sent you the email already. So Yo, Ziryab, what you saying, King?
What's good, man?
Talk to us.
Yeah. All right. So it sounds like Ex-Muslim's going to be jumping on the panel. So, man, sending out them shots right now. I've got the big book, the reference book there. So when we talk about James, when we talk about the personality of James, the existence of James, because imagine, I'm talking to a brother now. I'm saying, hey, you're Christian. Do you know about James? And the brother's telling me, no, that's fake news.
Man said fake news, Fake news. I like that. Yo, this is going to be interesting. This is going to be mad interesting. I can't wait for this. I got information that refuted the Quran. Ooh, okay, somebody's up in here. I wish you got your mic ready, man. Beast on the streets, bro. Get your mic ready. This seems like it's going to be interesting if you jump on. I got Sarah Garvey coming on in a hot second. Your comment section is too bougie, Kalam. Kalam, how do I come onto the chat? Literally, in the description box, there should be a link, called Hangout such and such. Click on there, you come in. If you can't do that, here is my email address. Okay, here is my email address. I got my email literally open right now because I had to send the link over to Ex-Muslim and Proud. So if you send me an email there, I can send you the link or utilize your email address to invite you. Furthermore, let me actually do that for Ex-Muslim and Proud. Let me just use your email address instead of waiting for you to come on. I might as well click you, and then the thing will actually call you itself. Let's do that. Let us do that.
Yeah, hopefully we can get a working title for the debate on this panel.
And Gabs, where you at, family? Where you at? I can't even text you or nothing. I can't even text you. My son is there playing right now, and I can't text you. So if you're watching, I apologize. I don't have my phone at hand. It's still not working. No, trust me, it will start ringing your phone. Ex-Muslim Proud, let me know if your Google Hangouts ain't ringing right now, because it should be. because I've just typed in your email address. Let's see. You need to be signed into Google Plus, I think. Okay, cool. Nor was the debate recorded. Ex-Muslim and proud will get before. Uh-oh, what's that? What's that? Abu Idris, are you okay, King? Seems as though your thing isn't working too good. But if it is, holla. Let me just quickly check. Is there anybody else? Has anybody else messaged me to jump in? Focused other. Okay, nope, nobody else so far, doesn't seem. Cool. Cool. Sarah, man, let the family know that you're here.
Peace, family. Peace.
Jeez. The big man himself. The big man himself. He did debate last time. He's good at lying. Okay, let me just see. Signals bad, bro. Yeah, mad bad. Let's see. I want to jump in. All right, listen. Holler at me, man. Holler at me. Either click the link below, yeah. Abu Sahid, click the link below, yeah, and let me know if that link works. Family, you don't gotta let me know if these links are working. If not, email me. That's the only other way. Okay, I can get you directly in that way. Okay, cool. So let's get it, family. Let's get it. You know, we've got what, 1, 2, 3, 4 individuals up in here right now. We can all see you guys. What's on the topic? What's hot now? What's hot? What are you saying, Sarah, man? Kick it off, G.
Why am I echoing?
Might be my fault because I haven't put in my mute. Let me mute my mic. Let's see.
Can you hear me now? Yeah. All right, cool. Nah, me myself, I was just chilling with a doink, and I don't really want to kick it off with, you know, I don't want to kick it off with it being something central to me, but no, I just received a Instagram inbox message from an ex-Muslim, which was just very saddening to me, and so I literally just made a video on it, and that should be out soon. But I want to kind of know what it's like to be an ex-Muslim. That's what I want to kind of know, like what it's like to actually be one.
Ooh, that's kind of. Oof, I've seen some documentaries on that. Still, I hate that to be the case. I wish my ex-Muslim brother will come in. Let's see, boss. It says install plugin, and it doesn't work even when I press it. Fam, how did you get onto the show last time? That's the question. Okay, ex-Muslim proud. Okay, you was on the show last time. This is what I'm going to ask you to do. Find the Hangout show that you was on last time. It should be in your Hangouts lists. Okay, message me on there. Once you message me on there, I should be able to bring you in. That's the best thing I can do for you. Yeah, and that would be really excellent to actually ask you that question. Harakirat says, I was an ex-Muslim and they will not kill me. All right, cool. If you cannot see the link, refresh the show. Oh, sugar, almost sent his email address then. Oh, you're in here. Ex-Muslim and proud, you're in here. Join then, because we're here then. Join. You're actually with us right now. I can see you messaging me. So therefore you're with us right now. Okay, just make sure what else is going on. Cool. A few other people. Yeah, so it should be working, bruv. It should be working. Well, I'm sure. Can you hear me? Nah, you have to click. Okay, let me try to bring you through this. What you have to do, my brother, is click the icons above or the video button on the top right-hand corner. You should be able to see us. Come back in to where you were before. Yeah. Because I can see when you come into the chat room. Come back into the chat room and literally click the links where you can see all of our icons, or click the video button on the top right-hand corner. That's the way you're able to enter. And I'm talking to one person only. What's the show topic? You know, yeah, we're just doing a quick free-for-all. Let's get some debates popping real quickly. Let's hook up some debates because I want to get ex-Muslim and proud on here. to set up a debate with Saracen and Brother Ziryab, or Brother Ziryab, or Ziryab and what I'm talking about. Either way. Let me just read. Next Muslim I've heard many sad stories. Hello, what do you think happens to an ex-Muslim? When I'm sure we have a few ex-Muslims here, including myself. Can you hear me? Okay. There's quite a few ex-Muslims and proud. A few ex-Muslims who are actually part of Titans TV family. I like that. That's good. I really want to hear you guys' story. How did you lot come up? How did you lot leave? And so forth. But no? All right. Let me start by being offensive then, since we're not actually getting anything popping. So far, we got Sarah and we got Ziryab. So let me say, hey, yo, Sarah, though. Do you really worship your ancestors?
Sorry for me.
Yeah.
Huh?
No, I was being cheeky. I was asking you, like, just to get it popping off. So, fam, do you really worship your ancestors? Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, that was to you, Sarah. Man's keeping quiet, God damn. All right. Let me drop a little
let
something.
me just throw down the gauntlet real quick.
There you go. Let's get it, man.
If there's any Israelites who want to talk about the ancient Egyptian influence in the Israelite tradition, that'll be an interesting build.
Repeat that again. Repeat that one again.
The ancient Egyptian influence in the Israelite tradition.
Ooh, wait. That would be big. But unfortunately, we ain't got no Israelites here. I'm still lost, Kalam. Excuse my retardation, fam. Mate. Okay. Abu Sahid, this is what I need you to do then, yeah? I'm going to put this email address yet again, yeah? Email me and I'll get you into the show. Email me and I'll get you into the show. Whoever wants to get into the show, just simply email me and you can get into the show. But to be honest with you, though, let me stop. Before I say something that's just nonsense.
My brother, I didn't even hear anything. I was in a very bad reception area, so I heard you say something about ancestors. What was it?
Nah, don't worry, man. I think you was on a flow of something. If you remember what you was about to say, yeah.
Yeah, I was saying I do not worship my ancestors, though I do believe I'm in communication with them. Yes, indeed.
All right. When you say you're in communication with them, what do you mean?
I mean, I communicate with them. We have dialogues when I meditate,
When you say dialogue, is it a one-way stream of conversation or is there a response?
The clues in the dialogue is two-way. But I'm interested to find out how are you sure that it's not just your own self talking back to you?
Most of the time, it is your own self talking back to you. And the reason why I say that is because it's all connected. So if you know about my system, if I go into it a little bit deeper, if you yourself, anyone was to see themselves, right, in the mirror, or was to be visited by themselves, right, it will be very hard for your mind to swallow. So if you saw yourself walk up to you and start having a conversation with you, you'd probably feel like you were going a little bit crazy. However, if you see yourself in a different form, right, it may be easier to take the information. And I totally believe that when we have these conversations with either what you call God or whatever entity you choose to call it, and you get some kind of response, it's just you yourself giving yourself the answers that you needed in a different form.
Yo, yo, ex-Muslim and Pride is in the building. 1 second. So let me ask this quick question now, okay? Because Sarah speaks to his ancestors, and there is a two-way stream of communication. It's a dialogue. I want to know. I'm going to go to my Muslim first, and then I'm going to go to my Christian. All right. So now I want to ask Ziryab, as a Muslim, are you in a dialogue with your God or whoever else you communicate with? Yes or no?
Come back to me 2 seconds, yeah?
No problem. All right, let me ask this question to ex-Muslim and Proud, my Christian brother. Okay, when you pray or are in communication with your God or whoever else you communicate with, is there a two-way stream of conversation taking place?
Yeah, I pray to my God.
And does he respond to you?
But I don't think that's what prayer's for. It's like me for asking for a Ferrari and then God responds to me. I think when I pray to God, it's just in gratitude for what I have and what I don't have, things like that. But all this is subjective, because a Mormon could say he prays to his gods, or a Jehovah's Witness, or a Kemet, or whatever. So that's not really a reliable way of knowing in which religion is true by your own subjective feelings on whether God actually talks to you or not. Does that make sense?
Yes. Everybody mute your microphone. Excellent, excellent. So, you know, we're hearing it. We're hearing it right now. Let me just quickly see what everybody else is saying. Okay, you sent an email. I'm going to get you on here. So it seems as though I'm going to quickly go back to my brother Sarah real quickly. Not Sarah, sorry. Ziryab, are you available? Let me know if you're available.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to ask that same question to you. When you pray to your God or to whoever you pray to, is there a stream of, or whenever you're in communication with your God or whoever you communicate with, is there a two-way stream of communication?
I don't know if it's, well, I would say that, yeah, there's a call and there's a response, but whether the response is in a manner that I can, say, decipher, let's say, right? Let's just use the example of like radio frequency or any type of frequency in a tuner or some type of instrument. It may be that I might not be able to kind of translate the frequency, right? But I do know that there's a response for whenever I call it, like whenever I'm praying. But the point about prayer is that that's, Quranically speaking, a means by which you reach a higher goal, which is like, will be explained in another time, in another situation.
Okay. Now, I find it interesting so far because it's seeing, okay, maybe, I don't know if I'm being biased here, but I'm going to say this. I find it very interesting that a lot of times we hear, Sugar, Sarah, are you ringing me? Give me a second, family. I don't know what's going on. You're ringing the wrong link, G. I don't even know how you're putting in, but that's another story. Don't tell me, my son's was probably on the phone. All right, so it seems very interesting, yeah, that, you know, sometimes we hear the mocking of ancestral veneration and communication or ancestral worship, whatever the case is called. And but it seems as though Sarah here is the only person who is in a two-way stream of communication. What's going on? What's going on with that? Yo, Sarah, what's going on? Sarah, I know you've called me on the other show. What's going on the other video? What's going on? Yo, you there? Nope. All right, cool. Let me hang up. Apologies, family. Here you go. Close that. Sarah, where you at?
Sorry, bro. The reception around where I am is crazy. I think it's all right now, though. So what was going on?
So I'm saying, yeah, it's very interesting, yeah, that you are the only person who will have two-way communication with, you know, your higher person. I'm going to put it like this. Of course, my Christians have Jesus and Yahweh and God. My Muslims have Allah and possibly even Muhammad. But you you seem to have your ancestors, and you're the only one who's having communication back to you. Correct. I find it very interesting. I don't know how that's going to open up a conversation, but I find that very interesting. So I don't know if you want to take over and say.
I would say that it's very. I find it interesting also that someone would pray to something or to attempt to communicate with something that doesn't communicate back with them. I find that interesting because you could just be you might as well talk to a brick wall, right? If you're talking to something, or you feel like you're talking to someone and you get no communication back, why are you still talking? No one would do that in real life situation. You wouldn't talk to a brick wall in a real life situation. You wouldn't talk to a person in a real life situation that didn't respond. You'd just probably walk away and say, "Oh, that person is not listening to me." I don't have that kind of communication.
All right, let me try to be inflammatory right about now. Okay, I'm trying to be inflammatory. It seems as though when people call, people like yourself an idol worshiper, it seems as though that they are the ones who are worshiping idly. Okay, that's what I'm going to say. It seems as though that they are the idol worshippers. But let's get it. Ex-Muslim and proud. I want to hear. Let's just get it in. I'm trying to stir the pot right about now. Let's get it. Or mute your mic if you can. Ex-Muslim and proud. No? God damn. What's going on here? Ziryab, what are you saying, King?
I'm here, man. I'm here, brother.
Well, you heard what I said, man. It seems as though I'm gonna call you out.
Yeah, I see what you did with the English language.
Yeah. So I'm calling you out right now.
No, man. That's as far as it goes. I mean, there's certain things which are unspoken, of course, like in all different traditions. Just know, like, from my perspective, it's not like I'm, in any kind of doubt in regards to the response. Like I said, there is a call and response. That's definite. That's foundational.
Can I ask, right? So, from my understanding, Muslims basically communicate or are supposed to communicate with Allah 5 times a day. So, are you telling me that you talk to something 5 times a day and get absolutely no response?
That's definitely what I'm not saying.
Okay, so you get communication back then, is what you're saying?
Like I said, there is a call and response in regards to kind of the inner details of that response. That's not something that I would personally delve into, and that's for each person to kind of make that choice themselves. But personally, what I'm saying is there's a foundational level of call and response, and that's there. But in regards to the specifications of the response, that's something else. That's why I was just kind of laughing at the use or kind of bending of language, semantics by Kalam earlier.
So, okay, so, all right, you said there's a foundational response. Is it, could you go into what the foundational response is? Or not? You don't have to.
Yeah, I mean, from a matter of belief, it's a well-known fact that as Muslims, we use prayer as one aspect of kind of communicating with the one true God, Allah. So that being said, that's the macro, we can say. It's within that there are many, and there are other Muslims who have written about it rather in history. Many type of, for example, there's a lot ranging from Al-Ghazali to Ibn Arabi or Ibn Sina, or these people are known in Latin terms like Avicenna or Averroes when it comes to Ibn Rushd, and all these people have written about their own experiences. So those experiences are out there, but personally, it's a different question.
For me, I find it interesting that Muslims specifically, not so much Christians, but Muslims specifically will attempt to ridicule me communicating with my ancestors. However, you're basically saying you communicate with Allah also. But in both instances, I cannot prove my ancestors to be a fact, and neither can you prove Allah to be a fact. So essentially, for me, we are both communicating with things that cannot be proven as facts, but I will get the ridicule. That's what's very interesting to me, because I would ridicule you in the same way. But I don't. But I would if like I would. People, oh, you speak to your ancestors, and I'm like, yeah, but you speak to Allah. You can't substantiate Allah either.
Yeah, I think that's a part of bad manners on the part of people who kind of engage in that behavior. Personally, I don't do that. So I think you're having a conversation sideways.
Right. Okay. But you see the hypocrisy there.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let me add an extra voice into here. Abu Said in the building. Oh, we've also got somebody else. Z Praz. Who's that? Oh, how you doing, Queen? How are you?
Too hard for you, dog. I'm doing fine.
Kalam, what's happening, Kalam?
What's good, man? Talk to me, G. I know you was trying to come in here for a minute. So what you said?
Oh, I had wanted to jump in because of your question about, I think it was you who said something about how will you be treated if you leave Islam or the ex-Muslims or something like that.
Yeah, Sarah posed the question earlier on.
Oh, well, I can't speak for everyone, but as for me personally, I was excommunicated. I was, sidelined. People cut ties with me that I was, close to. People who I had magnificent relationships with, you know what I mean? People who I've taught a plethora of things to, people who I've seen grow from, being quote unquote nobody in the community to people who who became of stature or, some type of importance or whatever. So I mean, it depends on the individual, but generally, if you are one who is involved with the community or, your family is Muslim and like this, then typically it won't be easy as far as being excommunicated is concerned or how an individual may handle that. But it's definitely not
that's kind of putting the community in the position of the church.
That's
you can be ostracized from society. You can definitely be ostracized when that occurs, but to be excommunicated has connotations of church league excommunication, which obviously, as you know, in Islam, there is no central body or authority like the church is.
Well, some people take it upon themselves to take that position,
and that's a different issue.
Well, if you want to call it, being ostracized or whatever, but do you agree that some people do take it upon themselves to hold such a level of authority?
People are ostracized, no doubt. There's no doubt about that.
Because in some situations you would even be killed, and that is far more greater than being excommunicated or ostracized.
Yeah, no, in my understanding is incorrect. The Quran clearly says there's no compulsion in religion. So that's something that again occurs, but I think that's a mistake.
Okay, but you do acknowledge that it does happen, or it's possible that it can happen to a person that leaves Islam, right? Irregardless of what your understanding may be or how you may see it.
Yeah, and there's a scale. Let's be honest now. There's a lot of people that make money leaving Islam. There's a whole industry around that. So yeah, there's a sliding scale, I like to call it.
Guys, could I get some clarity on? Can you guys hear me? Yeah.
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah, could I get some clarity, please, on that notion or that term? There is no compulsion in religion. Because if we look at what compulsion means and then ask ourselves if there is compulsion in religion, I think it's a contradiction. I think the term is actually contradictory.
I agree 110%. And people often, quote that as a scapegoat or just as a way out to say, you can't be forced to do such and such within Islam, but clearly there are certain commandments that are ordained on.
The reason why I said that, personally, is because I've read hadith where Muhammad himself has said, if this man leaves his religion, to kill him, right?
Right.
And I've also in the manner of God, if God is saying there's no compulsion in religion, however, if you don't follow me, you're going to burn in hell, then there's kind of like a compulsion. Like, you know, there's kind of like a very manipulative stance, because like,
Right.
oh, don't follow me. You have every right not to follow me, but if you don't follow me, you're going to burn in hell. And so if I believe in a God or this God, then for my own safety, you know, for my own, you know, sanity, I'm going to want to follow it so I don't burn in hell. So it seems to me like there's a very contradictory stance within that term. I don't think it's very, I don't think it's to use, because I don't think it actually brings clarity to the actual term that it's saying.
I agree.
I'm just saying, you can't tell me do what you want, but if you do what you want, I'm going to kill you. It's
Exactly.
like, it doesn't make sense. Like, the government, if the government of this country said, you know what, no rules, do what you want, but if you kill someone, you're going to jail, then obviously there's a compulsion or there's some kind of stipulation in killing someone, because you're going to go to jail. Don't tell me do what I want, and then when I do what I want, there's a punishment for it. I either do what I want or I don't do what I want. No?
Right. Damn
But
right.
what we're talking about here is a case on the plane, or the plane of reality that we're in. So in what I'm talking about is pointing towards two notions. One important notion is negative laws, in the sense that you don't do certain things, right? So you don't do this, you don't do that, you don't do, and so anything else you can't naturally do. And more than that, another point is the fact that anything that happens, see, for example, when it comes to the Islamic perspective, the laws are only pertaining to what occurs in the public sphere or public realm. What occurs behind closed doors is naturally what happens behind closed doors, and it's as I say, geared from a negative perspective. In regard to the narrations that you speak of, I mean, there's a whole issue of narrations which we can speak about, and obviously I'm talking to the production team in regards to having a talk on regards to that, because it's a big topic, and there's no doubt that there are narrations which kind of reflect the tyrants which were ruling at the time when certain narrations were being compiled. So that's, as I say, that's a separate issue. But the main important thing to note is that it's a negative perspective in the sense of law when it comes to laws, and that's for people under it by choice. Now that doesn't happen in reality in regards to the adherence, but that's again a different issue.
Okay, so, I mean, I heard what you just said, right? However, in the terms of compulsion, right, I don't think you actually answered the question. I don't, and I'll say this again. If the term says there's no compulsion in religion, if I look up the dictionary term for compulsion, it says the action of being forced to do something, or constraint. The synonyms are intimidation, oppression, obligation, force, or coercion, right? So if I was to say to you, there's no compulsion to follow me, however, if you don't follow me, I am going to kill you, you are now being coerced or intimidated or being oppressed into following me. So there is compulsion in religion.
So who's doing that to you, though? I don't get what are you saying about, or are you talking about people who are by choice underneath it, or what are you actually alluding to?
Right.
Or is it a semantic point that you're kind of opening up with regards to definitions?
You made the point, or I never said compulsion, but the word compulsion actually means something. So when you say there's no compulsion, that means there's no coercion, no forcing, no intimidation, no oppression into being religious or into following this religion. This is basically what you're saying. However, the outcome of not is hellfire, according to the religion. So you're basically coercing me to follow you through fear and intimidation and coercion, because no human being, if they believe in a God, wants to go into hellfire. None. I don't know a human being that's going to say, yeah, I want to go to hell. So I'm now being coerced, intimidated, or oppressed into actually following this God. But you just told me there's no compulsion. You just
Can I drop a bomb right now?
Sure. That was a hell of a bomb, but if you want to add more collateral damage, then go ahead.
Let's get it, man. Ex-Muslim and proud.
Yo.
Let me know if you got anything to offer, King.
I've just come in, so I'm just soaking it all in at the minute. But when I've got something good to say, I'll make sure to say it.
Definitely. All right. You lot continue, man. You lot continue. I'm here, but I'm not here. So continue, family.
I'm just wondering if we can see the contradiction or we can't see the contradiction in that term. That's all.
Okay. Hell yeah, it's crystal clear. He understands what you're saying.
Yeah, but he's a Muslim now, and what it is that now he has to reconcile that term.
Exactly.
See? Is it a correct term? Is it a correct sentence? There's no compulsion in religion. It's actually a contradictory sentence.
Without a doubt. And if I want to, it's some word that comes out to that particular line and that ayah, if I'm not mistaken, that I want to. Let me see. Let me look it up. La ikraha fi din. Let's see.
I mean, while you look that up, for me, it just it speaks to the double talk and the contradictory terms that religious people actually have to live in to survive, which is one of the reasons why, for my own self, when I speak about the religion, people get quite angry and frustrated at me, I feel, because I bring out the stuff within the religion that they generally don't want to deal with. Because I've heard the term used so many times, there's no compulsion in religion. I'm like, let's actually break that down. And when I start breaking it down, people get frantic and people get violent or people start threatening. And it's like, like I'm actually trying to have a conversation here. You either want to.
But none of that is happening here. The only reason
I'm not engaging
with this is the fact. No, just hear me out. See, the only reason I'm not really engaging with this is it's not meaty. You're sticking on it. I think that you're just saying the opposite of what's stated. If you're familiar with Arabic or not, the point is the message comes through that the Quran is stating, or Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is stating, it's a fact. There's no compulsion in religion. So that means that someone who comes to the religion by themselves, and this is the thing, you have to remember the context in which the Quran was revealed. We're talking about a time where the early adherents, and the thing is, when we're talking about this particular verse, this is a verse that came down when a time when the early Muslims weren't in a state, they weren't in Medina, they were actually the kind of dispossessed and weak amongst that region. One of the most famous martyrs or early martyrs in the religion was the father and mother, most importantly, of Ammar bin Yasir. So these two people were killed by the Quraysh. So don't forget that this was revealed in a context where people were being compelled to leave this new situation, right? To go back to their old one, which was what the Quraysh and their aristocracy ruled, controlled, and owned, and move. And this is the other thing I don't think is mentioned enough. There's a bottom line to this, having however many idols or however many gods means however many tithes and however many tax from each of the offerings from each of. So this one God concept is kind of striking at the bottom line. So it's very kind of important to keep in mind that there was a materialistic aspect to this compelling of people to leave the religion. So like I say, at this point, the context of what I'm talking about, there's no compulsion, is at this time the point that the verse is being stated, and that's a running theme the whole throughout. There's a lot of tribes that didn't accept Islam. So it's a different situation, but that's a different conversation. I mean,
my brother, you gave us that verse in the context of 2018 when you said it. When you said it in this conversation, you were not saying it based on a time that you were saying that there are people doing stuff back in the days when the Arabs were ignorant. You did not use that context. You used there's no compulsion in religion.
No, it's important to remember that context. It's not that I was using it in that context, but it's important to remember that context, especially for those who don't know. In this context, in this context is fine because you brought it up. We're living in an age where we're living. I'm engaging with it. So you've opened it up now. We can get into it. We're living in 2018, like you said. We're living in an age of post-war, post-deceit, post-debt. The reality of the situation is it's bigger than kind of the concocted pamphlet Islam and the concocted kind of response to that. We're talking about a situation whereby we're living in the diaspora, right? And we're in a situation where everyone is under the chokehold of debt, and that's one of the major issues, which just coincidentally, Islam is, or the Prophet, peace be upon him, came and said interest or debt or usury is a major issue, one of the biggest issues. So bringing it back to the context of the question of why did you bring it up in this context? For those very reasons. Like I said, we're living in post-war, post debt, and it's a really sticky one. So the fact is, I'm well aware of the historical social context which has kind of created a scenario where we're living in kind of the shadow of a lot of mistakes, and I'll be the first to kind of have conversations about them in my presentations to the world. This is what I've kind of started chipping away at, especially within my tradition, which I've been born and brought up with, so I just think we're just sticking on this one point a bit too much, because I'm really itching and kind of getting excited to talk about Paul and James, because this is an informative thing.
I'm not gonna lie. It sounds like a lot of backtracking that like just now, but all I'm saying is is that you brought it up in the context of 2018. You didn't give any context to it being back in the day or debt and all this kind of stuff. You just said there's no compulsion in religion. And what I find in my own experience is that many Muslims will use this verse and say there's no compulsion in religion and not even go into what you went into about the time and the debt and all this kind of stuff. They don't do that. They use it in this stance, in this time, and they say there's no compulsion in religion. However, like I said,
true, no doubt.
Yeah, but
you're not engaging with anything I've kind of dropped in this conversation, and that's really interesting. That speaks more than what you're actually saying, because what you're saying I haven't really disagreed with. Granted, I've said granted. Yeah, that's true.
So there is compulsion,
and then trying to build and move the conversation forward. So I've dropped, and it's not just some throwaway topics, brother. I'm saying we're living in the age of post-war and post-debt, in the sense that these two are inextricably tied. So that means that kind of encapsulates the whole world. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what we're living in. So in the context of what we're living in, it's a real standpoint which is the antithesis to a lot of what we're seeing, especially from my context, which is that of a Muslim. Because I'm saying I'm rejecting the manifestations which claim to have some type, and really they're just kept dealing with death and destruction. So it is important to kind of me raising it and drawing the context out, and then raising those other 2 points, which, as I say, you're not touching, because as a Pan-Africanist, we've got the example of Thomas Sankara, who talked about debt, and arguably was killed for. So really and truly, brother, and you have a picture of Thomas Sankara, so you already noticed that he championed this. So let's talk about common terms. This is a common term that we, as people of children of Africa, can agree on, right? We want to throw off the chokehold and yokehold of debt, because the way he expressed it, Thomas Sankara, it was clear. And as I say, you're not dealing with the major issues which cover all of us.
All agree that there is compulsion in religion,
right? And listen, right? How about this, right? Let me read out the verse that he's referencing. Let's read out what comes after there should be no compulsion in religion, and see if it mirrors what you said, Sarah. because I don't think many people don't know what comes after "Let there be no compulsion in religion." Like a lot of people are completely ignorant as to what comes after. So, should I read what comes after that?
Please, brother. Please, Marquis, please.
Okay, 1 second. So, if anyone has access to Google, English translation of the Quran, if they speak Arabic and they don't want any English, it's all there. So, if you want to say, "Oh, that's just a translation," we can read the Arabic. We can go into it, or if you have it by your side, you can read along. So, this verse is in Surah Al-Baqarah, which is the second chapter of the Quran. The verse 256, and I'll be reading all the way until 257. So
remember, this is from the same people who say we have too much religious conversation. Remember, yeah? All right, carry on.
Well, I never said that, but anywho, there should be no compulsion in religion. The right course has become clear from the wrong. So whoever disbelieves in Taghut and believes in Allah has grasped the most trustworthy handhold with no break in it. And Allah is hearing and knowing. Now on to the verse that comes after that. It begins as Allah is the ally of those who believe. He brings them out from darkness into the light. And those who disbelieve, their allies are Taghut. They take them out of the light into darkness. Those are the companions of the fire. They will abide eternally therein. So
just contradict yourself. Just contradict yourself.
You know what I mean?
I hear the brother saying we have too many religious conversations, but I don't know. The verse was brought up. If I stayed on it for too long, I apologize. I just wanted some clarity in it, and I feel like I've got it. So thank you, Marcus.
That's fine. So yeah, even though there should be no compulsion, whatever that means in Arabic, whether you choose to, if you choose to still disbelieve and follow your Taghut, your place of abode will be the fire, and you will eternally abide therein if you die on that. So. Hello.
Yo, peace, family. It was really good. Oh, man. All right. You know what, yeah? So far, it's been real interesting. Let me just make sure I do this. We've got, over 145 people tuned in right now, 147, and it's climbing right now, yeah? And the likes to the viewership ratio, yeah, is mad off. Family, we're going in right now. We've got all of your best in the studio with us right now. We've got Medicine Man, the resident Medicine Man. Hey, yo, Gabs. I like that smile. Yo, we got Gabs in the building. We got Sarah Garvey, Hardbody, telling you as it is in the building. The spokesperson for all black people in the UK. Yeah, I said it. Shout out. If you hate it, you hate it. If you love it, you done know. All right, we've also got Ziryab in the building, Abu Saeed in the building, ex-Muslim and proud is about to drop some bombs in the building. Of course, Ezra is here as well. Got more people tuning in, but I need you guys to show us the love, man. Show us the love and appreciation. It's on 50 likes now. 50 likes, Abi. Fam, you know what? Yeah, I've got to go anyway because I got to go and eat some food. So, you know what? It's about to. Sarah, what are you saying, family? Do you have any last words? Because I'm about to shut down the show,
No, man. Go do your thing. I think my point was made.
Hold on. Before you continue. Bam. It's 55 likes. Are you lot boy in the thing? Let me just lock off the whole thing from now, G. Let me lock it off. If I don't see this year, jump to at least 75 likes here, I think it's time for me to lock down the show. Because they're not even appreciating the fact that I got things to be doing, yeah, and I'm out here doing the show for you guys. Sarah's got things to be doing, and he's out here dropping this wisdom for you guys. And you're here doing what? Nah, man, you lot don't appreciate nothing. I swear to you. I actually swear to you. I'm stopping the whole thing, bro. Stopping the whole thing. You don't need to be sharing this with your friends, bro. Come on. Where are you getting this type of information from? Where you getting this type of conversations actually taking place with all your greatest on here right now? Where you getting that from? Nowhere. So show the love and support, man. Like the goddamn thing. Jeez. And the likes ain't for me, you know. I hope you know the likes ain't for me. I can't eat the likes. I can't spend the likes neither. The likes is for everybody else to tune in and actually enjoy the show as well with you guys. God damn.
Callum.
Anyways, carry on. We've got 75 likes. Continue.
Yeah, you wanna announce that that the event for the Sinera Awards is now being officially put out. That it's the 7th of July in Broadway, not in the Apollo. So we're going Broadway. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we heard you, man. We heard you live.
Yeah.
Live
So I'm asking everyone to get their hands in their pockets and help us get there, because we need to be as one force. So I'm asking people to go to the GoFundMe UK USA link up and put $1 in, because you know what? If you want to see this thing live and you want to see how we operate in the USA from the UK, put your hands in your pocket and donate.
Oh man, let's get it. Let's get our donations in. Let's make this thing pop. But yeah, let me get it back into the building. Oh, yo, Gabs.
Yo.
Who wants to speak right now? Go ahead. We're still going live and strong. We're still going live and strong, family. I ain't shutting down the show now for another, let's say 20 minutes. So let's keep it flowing.
Yo, what's popping, man? He's an ex-Muslim. Or was he gonna say something? Go on, bro.
Kalam. So I think it was who's that dude who challenged me to the debate, Ziryab, and it was also Ziryab. So this is one of the 3 topics that they can pick from. Either the first one is the text of the New Testament corrupted, number 1, or number 2, who has got the correct view of Jesus, Paul or Muhammad, or number 3, is the Quran reliable? So Sarah.
Whoa, what happened to Paul and James? That's what we agreed, man.
No, you can include the Paul and James stuff into the second option I gave you. Paul versus Muhammad, who has the correct view of Jesus.
Man, that's a
I
lot.
don't want to be on the defensive the whole debate, so that's why we need to put both sides of the argument into the question. So it's give me a time, and I'll prepare for the debate, and we'll have a good, honest, civil debate.
Which Paul was he talking about?
Hold on, one second, Ezra. So Ziryab, what are you saying about that? Ziryab?
Yeah, I think we can work with that second one still.
The second one, okay. So
Paul,
what are we saying now?
Who has got the correct view of Jesus?
Easy. So what are we saying, G? Come on, talk to me. What's the date? What's the date we're working with? Okay, let me ask ex-Muslim and proud. What is your earliest available date to do that?
27th.
27th.
Oh, that's a far away. You know, let's see. What date is that?
2 weeks. You ready?
Ready, man.
Bro, I'm good, but I'm not that good. You don't need 2 weeks to brush up on your knowledge.
All right, when you're ready then.
Shall we do this time next week?
Yeah, sure. Go on.
Okay, so this time next week, the debate is Paul versus Muhammad. Who has got the correct view of Jesus?
Yeah, sure.
Cool. Right, it's a day.
Forget next week. Let's get into some meat now. Bro. I want to know something, man.
Let's do that.
I want to know something now, man. I want to know something now.
Oh my God. Oh my God. We're about to get it in. Let me hype this up a little bit, you know. Let me put my Don King hat on. Let me get it hyped. Oh my gosh. It's going down. We've got a Muslim versus an ex-Muslim live on Titans TV. When? Next week. Same time, same place. Oh my gosh, we're going down. Let's see. 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock. Let's say we're going to start this at 9:30. 9:30. Which one's going first? 9 or 9:30? 9:30. 9:30. We're going in. Next week, Tuesday. Okay, next week, Tuesday, we're going to have this debate with Ziryab and with ex-Muslim and Proud. Hopefully the following week we can have a second debate with Saracen included as well. So let's just get it in from now. It's going to be massive. It's going to be big. I can't wait for this. Let me know if you lot can be waiting for this as well. Oh, man. But you know what, yeah? As Gabs is rightly saying, yeah, let's get in now. Gabs, I beg you, set pace, man. Set pace, G. Set pace.
Yo, yeah. Can you hear me, yeah?
You guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you still.
Bro, we can hear you, man. We can
do you know what, yeah? Just a question I wanted to know. This is for any Christian or Muslim in the group. Yeah. I wanted to know. You see the concept of Lucifer, the devil. Is he in the Quran? Is it the same person that's depicted in the Christian narrative? So Lucifer.
I wouldn't say
is he in the
same, no.
Okay, and what's his brother's name? You just said that. Who's the brother? Who just said no?
Ziryab, I'm not saying no.
Okay. Are you coming from the Christian point of view? Yeah.
No.
Oh, Muslim?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm saying that the Lucifer thing is a Judeo-Christian concept.
Okay. So then, obviously, especially when we're dealing with the Garden of Eden, you have Christians, some Christians, they preach that, it was the devil who was in the Garden of Eden. Do you share that same concept as well?
I wouldn't know, I don't know.
Huh?
I'm sure that there's relations and narrations, yeah.
So it is. So it is the same person then, or it's not?
No, I wouldn't say I'm familiar with the story, like personally. So
okay, so
I just know that it's a bigger point, and the point is that there's a lot of Judeo-Christian kind of corpus which has made its way into like narrations. Yeah, that's a fact, and there's a whole category of them. So I think with certain aspects like this, especially with the story of Adam and so on and so forth, I think for one point, yeah, Lucifer is a Judeo-Christian concept, but I wouldn't say that that's not worked its way into the narration aspect. But personally, my point is that doesn't mean that it's true.
Okay, so this is the bit that confuses me. I'm not even gonna lie, because especially when we're dealing with people that are saying that the Bible's been corrupted and stuff. The reason why I need to understand this, because this is good. This is good with that topic that the brother said he wants to have with the brother saying if the Old Testament is corrupted or not. Because if you're saying there's bits in the Old Testament that goes along with the Muslim narrative, but then there's bits that don't. Yeah, you have, obviously, we know when we look at the biblical narrative, especially in the Old Testament, we know there's a story of Adam and Eve being in the garden. Yeah, in the Garden of Eden, we know you have the story of Noah, the flood, Moses and all this stuff. But yeah, some Muslims will say, obviously, stuff in the Old Testament is corrupted. I want to know to what extent.
Now,
so
you know what it is,
yeah.
You know what it is? With their story of Eden, yeah, it's totally different to the Bible. Like, their story of Eden says that, like, Eden was not on earth. So they believe that it was somewhere in heaven, this garden. And they also believe that the angels don't have a will. So, like, they can only do the will of Allah. So one of them couldn't be Lucifer, if you know what I mean.
Okay. So then, who did they? This is what I'm sitting out. This is where I get confused now, because. So then, what did they say? What was the? So that means they don't believe in this whole fall of Adam. What was in the Garden of Eden from the Muslim perspective? What's the reason for the fall of Adam or man?
Adam made a sin. Like, so basically, I mean, and the story is related in the Quran. That's the point. It's in Surah Al-Baqarah, I believe. And so he basically disobeyed, and then was showed favor upon and taught the words to seek for in order to seek forgiveness, and was granted that, but still was made
before
to
we get
descend
there,
to earth.
Okay, before we get there, so let's get the scene straight. So from the Muslim point of view, the Garden of Eden is in heaven. Yeah, the Garden of Eden is in heaven.
Perhaps,
Adam
perhaps.
and Eve.
I don't know.
So you don't know. So is there any Muslims on the panel that know about the story that can? Because I don't. If you don't know, then there's no point really talking about it, because then the point of view that you're going to give is not going to really make no sense. But let's just say if the Garden of Eden is not on earth and it's in heaven, yeah, we have Adam who's in heaven in the Garden of Eden. Now, for whatever reason, this man that was created called Adam disobeyed God. I want to know what was the reason for that, because obviously from the biblical point of view, we know that obviously the whole scene of man disobeying God was because obviously they say the serpent, the devil, tricked them into deceiving and falling. So I want to know from the Quranic, from the Muslim point of view, what was the reason for Adam's fall? Like, what happened? And especially, it's a bit more confusing knowing that they're in a heavenly place where, you know what I mean? And they're still disobeying God. So I want to know what was the reason. So any Muslims on the panel, what's the reason for the fall of Adam or man in the Garden of Eden? Anyone? Hello?
Yo, where's Saracen, man?
Right. I think that's a big topic there, see? This is why I say let's get to the meat. Let's stop, fiddling around. Let's get straight in. Kalam, bruv, help them out, bruv. Come on, bro. Someone, anyone in there? Any Muslims?
I'm not too studied on this, but from what I remember, it's nothing to do with picking the fruit for the Muslim story. You know what I'm saying? I think he just disobeyed in some way, and then was put onto earth. You know what I mean?
But this is good though, because now remember
out of the Garden of Eden.
The reason why this.
I was just saying, in our story, they kicked out the garden, innit? But in their story, they kicked out of the garden and put on earth.
Yeah. So this is what I'm trying to say. So and the reason why it's a bit more weird, because they kicked out of a heavenly place. Are you committing sin in it, or they don't say sin, or committing disobeying God in the heavenly place, and you're being sent down to earth? So does earth carry the same sin? Do you know what I mean? Because it's weird, because from the Christian narrative, that because they sinned in the Garden of Eden, which is obviously of the land, it makes sense for why they say that the earth is sinful. Do you know what I mean? Born into a sinful nature. Hence why we have to wait for the coming of Jesus to sacrifice and do all these sacrifices with the lambs in the Old Testament, and then the coming of Jesus. But from a Muslim point of view, if the crime is being taken place in heaven, and now they've been sent to earth, are we saying that earth is more heavenly, or should I say, or sinless than heaven? Because that's where the chaos took place.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying?
The original sin was, you're right. The original sin is in the heavens, according to them. Yeah.
So this is why I wanted to know, what would be, and that's one point. And then I wanted to know what was, if you're in a heavenly place, in a heavenly place where, especially you said angels they don't have free will or something. They have to abide by the law. No one can trick them or do anything. What was in heaven that made Adam want to disobey God? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In a heavenly place.
Good question still. Yo, Marquise, don't you know about this?
Everyone's flicking through their books on. You get me?
What was the question?
Because that's a good question. For real though, what was the sin? And if it's in heaven, then no, and the angels can't be corrupted. So what caused them to sin? I don't get it.
Wait, what's the question?
Oh, come on, bro.
I just came in. I just came in.
Oh, so Go on, Ezra. I like the way you break it down. Go on, Ezra.
Yeah, like basically, according to Islam, is the Garden of Eden in heaven or was it on earth?
In heaven.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And is it right that the angels can't sin? The
No
angels
free
only
will, they
have
can't sin.
will. Say again.
No free will, they can't sin.
Okay. So what was this? Why was Adam and Eve cast out of heaven?
Because
Out of
they
Eden?
sinned.
Because they sinned.
Yes.
How did they sin?
God told them not to eat from the fruit of this tree. They ate from the fruit of that tree.
Okay. So how did that happen? They just decided to do it of their own will.
No, the devil came. His name is Iblis. He told them, "Hey, you should eat from this tree." They ate from that tree.
Okay.
He told them.
But hold on, but where are you getting this from though? Like,
see,
how did the devil get into heaven? Like,
the devil. He's not something like special. He's Iblis. He was a jinn. He was given this high rank, capable of coming into Jannah or heaven. He was allowed to see Adam. He was told to bow. He didn't listen. He said, "I'm going to corrupt them." Before he left, he went to Adam and he corrupted him. Adam was corrupted. He ate from the tree, thrown down to earth. That's the story.
Okay. So that sounds a bit strange. So heaven's this perfect place, but
Yes.
yet Allah allows some type of
sin to take place. This is the point. But then this is now because this is the point I was getting to. That's why I wanted to find out, if Lucifer, one of the brothers said that Lucifer or the devil, is that concept just for Christianity or is it in Islam as well? And obviously, I think Iblis. I think from what I'm hearing from what this brother said, I don't know if he's right or wrong. So I don't know if other Muslims agree on what he's saying. But Iblis is basically the Lucifer in the Islamic narrative. Is that true?
But this is the problem with playing loose and fast with the narrative. You see, I kept quiet because I'm not too familiar with the narrative that, as I pointed to, it is in the Quran, the outlined story of Adam and the descent. And I call it descent, but whether it was in heaven, these are interesting questions you pose. I personally don't know, innit? I don't know, but the point is, it's there, and if I can look it up real quick. I wasn't, but anyway, to kind of try and draw a correlation between Iblis and Lucifer is just a non-starter because the Christian or Judeo-Christian conception of Lucifer is that he's an angel. And correct me if I'm mistaken, but that he's an angel and he disobeyed, and then he fell as well, right?
Yeah.
So if that's that concept, but obviously, like Brother Ezra kind of alluded to in the Islamic conception, I know that angels are made of pure light, and so they can't, they don't have free will, so they can't sin, right? Their purpose is just to glorify God in many different ways. But the other point is to say that Iblis is from the jinn, right? So I don't know how the exact compilation is, but the most common description is smokeless fire. Now, how that works or whatnot is a different question. I don't personally know, but the point is
and you know what it is,
and they have got free will. So he made the choice when Allah fashioned Adam out of clay, or was this transferred as clay, but out of black mud, really. He made all of the angels prostrate, right? Obviously, he ordered them all to prostrate, and they did so. But then Iblis refused to, and the reason he did is because he had the free will. He was of the jinn. But the point is, the subtlety to take away from that is the fact that he grew arrogant, and the fact that he thought that he was a better creation than what Allah had fashioned in front of him, and as such refused and had to go to kind of refuse an order from Allah. So that's as far as I know. In terms of the descent, in terms of who Adam was, or whether or not he kind of took off the apple, or whether he was prompted by Iblis, or Shaitan, that's a different question. I question whether that's in the Quranic narrative, because I don't think that it is. And as I said, the Quranic narrative is just the outer line. But yeah.
Yeah. You know what it is, Gabs? I know the problem now.
Yeah.
The problem is there that we ain't got those jinn things, like the smokeless fire. Like, so basically, when they've got lost in translation of the angels, you know what I'm saying? And they've came up with this jinn thing, you know what I mean? That's the problem.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Lost in translation.
Yeah.
Jinn thing is the bit that confuses the jinn, the whole understanding of the jinns. Because you see the jinns, are they seen? Because you said the angels don't have free will, they can't commit sin. Only the jinns, you have the good. Are they seen as the sons of God?
Jinns, no.
Okay, now the reason why I
God
asked that,
would
because
have a
obviously,
son.
in the
God
Old
has a son.
I tell you why I asked that. The reason why I asked that, because in the Old Testament, we have the story of Noah, yeah, and also prior to the story of Noah, we have the story of the sons of God coming down to earth, and obviously mating with the daughters of man. Obviously, hence why they say we have the Nephilim and all this stuff. So, from the Quranic point of view,
Man, say it very casually, like everyone knows what you're talking about.
No. But I thought that was if we're dealing with religion, I thought most people know this. You don't know about this? The sons of God coming down.
Their Quran don't tell them nothing.
Yeah, tell them.
Sons of God, daughters of God. What is that?
Is okay. So in the Quran, do they talk about Goliath, David and Goliath? Have you got that in there? Giants.
No.
Giants.
There's a lot of things in the Quran.
Goliath is there.
So Kalam, hold on. So Kalam, hold on.
There's a
Are
few
you trying to
verses
tell me
before,
there's no
though.
mention of David and Goliath and any of these giants in the Quran?
No, not one mention.
Giants.
Yes. You see why? You know why? And this is why. Yeah, this is a good point. Do you know why?
What?
Because look, the reason why I was basically mentioning that because this would show that the angels obviously do have free will because those that made, and obviously hence why the Nephilim and the giants were created, and then hence why we had to get to the whole story of Noah having and obviously God have a and start. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. But from the Quranic point of view, who are they saying that with the humans? We say it's the jinns that created. But obviously now you're saying that they didn't have no giants. There's no mention of no giants. I'm a bit confused. So what was the reason for the flood then? Because this will be the next domino effect. What was the reason for the flood on earth? Because if the sin happened in heaven with Adam, what was the reason for the chaos that was going on in earth?
All right, real quickly, let me just speak a little bit. Now, there's a lot of things that the Jews and the Christians have that the Muslims don't have. The Quran is a reminder of the things that really and truly are inside of the Jewish scriptures and the Christian scriptures. So there's a lot of stories that are not actually mentioned in there that's pertaining to what we're discussing tonight. What you're discussing, to be honest with you. So, for example, the Jews and Christians both acknowledge that the angels do have free will. Some angels, especially in the Christian Bible, are actually inside of hell right now, or inside of Hades, waiting to be judged. So there is this concept that angels do have free will and can say certain things and do certain things. Now, again, with the whole jinn topic, it depends on which Muslims you're actually talking to, whether angels have free will or don't have free will. Because some classify angels or the jinns were a group of angels. I know I showed you these type of recordings already in Tabari, that the angels or jinns are angels. There's other places such as in Harut and Marut, that story, that the angels had free will and did things contrary to God. So there is this, but obviously mainstream Islam don't actually accept angels as having free will. But go on, Gabs.
Okay. So I think this is the only reason why I was mentioning this would help with that topic that the brother wanted to mention about whether the Old Testament is corrupted or not. Because that whole thing about the Old Testament being corrupted is kind of confusing to say, because if the Quran doesn't have certain stories, like you said, yeah, if it doesn't mention most of these stories that we talk about, like the giants, David and Goliath, the sons of God coming down to earth, it's kind of hard to say that the Old Testament is corrupted. From what point are we saying? Because if you're not mentioning those stories, if the Quran's not mentioning those stories, but yet they say they have, historical evidence for, King David and all this stuff, and, the giants that was walking Goliath and the tribe that he was from and all this stuff. How can we now say that the Old Testament is corrupted? Because remember, the Old Testament is vast. It's vast. There's loads of books that cover the Old Testament. So what would you then use, or what do you have, in its original to say that, yes, this thing is corrupted because we have this to say bang, bang, bang? Because now you're basically have to take out a lot of the stories. So basically wipe out the story of the giants to deal with David, Goliath. You got to take that out. You got to take out why the flood happened, Noah. So Sodom and Gomorrah and all the sin that happened on earth, the reason why Noah had to come and create the ark. Yeah, you got to take that out. And then if you take those bits out, what do we have? Because from the Bible narrative, it goes like in an order, like the fall of Adam on earth, which then, kicked off the domino effect of the things that was happening on earth. But the moment you have the fall of Adam or man happening in heaven, then it makes you wonder, like, what's happening on earth? Because earth then should still be pure. There shouldn't be no curse. So the land there should be no curse upon the land. There shouldn't be no sacrifices of the lamb. Like, why are the Jews sacrificing lambs? Like, there should be none of that, because the earth is not sinful. There's no sin on the earth, because obviously the events took place in heaven. You see what I'm saying? So these are the questions that will start to arise, and it will get a bit confusing. So if anybody else, let me know. Ezra, what do you think? Anyone else? Chime in.
I say something.
Yeah, I agree. Like, that's the thing. They've got so much missing out of their story, and then for them to turn around and say that ours is corrupted, like, that's just madness. Like, corrupted how? Like, what evidence? It's like Mormons or someone starting a brand new religion and then saying, guess what? The Quran's corrupted. Muhammad, there's a new prophet. Muhammad mentioned a new prophet to come. He's not the final prophet. Are they going to accept it? Yeah. No, they're not going to accept that. So I don't know how they can expect us to, like, accept that our book is corrupted when they've come 500 years later after Christ, with some bogus story.
Oh, hold on. Did Jesus say that, or Yeshua, did he say that he was the last prophet, though?
Say that again.
That last argument that he made would only make sense if Yeshua said he was the last prophet to come.
Can I answer this question?
It says all the prophets are Israelites. For one, For two, the law of the Torah does not change. So every other prophet came and told Israel to stay in line with the Torah, follow the laws, get back the faith. And then this other prophet comes, talking
Paul included.
I don't know what your beef is with Paul, but go on then.
What do you mean, Paul? What's wrong with Paul?
I know.
I'd like to hear your perspective on Paul as an Israelite and Paul as an upholder of the law. That would be interesting.
Sorry?
Paul's an Israelite. What do you mean?
Yeah, I'm asking for your perspective on how he is, like what tribe and whatnot, and then asking about the
He tells you himself. I'm from the tribe of Benjamin in Romans.
Okay, and then about his love of the law as well.
Yeah, that's the thing, Paul. Like, a lot of people think that Paul came and contradicted the law and says you can eat pork and all these things, but like Peter says, Paul's writings are hard to understand. So that's why people get confused on Paul's writings. But like, Paul didn't contradict in any way. He said, in fact, you know what? If you go to, I think it's 3 and 30, he tells you that ends the whole matter of Paul. Yeah, if you understand anything that Paul says, understand this. Yeah, I have not, like, should we abolish the law through faith? Basically, because we've got grace now, a lot of people think that you don't have to keep the law anymore because we've got grace. But Paul makes himself clear. He says, look, Is the law void through faith? God forbid. Get me? That means no.
Guys, what is this?
We establish the law.
All right, real quickly, let me get ex-Muslim crowd in. So please, everybody mute your mic. Let one person speak at a time. Ex-Muslim crowd, go ahead.
Okay. So I just want to mention about the Apostle Paul and how Muslims vehemently attack the character and the personhood of who the Apostle Paul was. However, when we read from the Acts of the Apostles in chapter 15, we see that that James and Peter, these were the first disciples of Jesus. James was the biological half-brother of Jesus, and Peter was his closest friend. And both Peter and James both accepted the legitimacy of who the Apostle Paul was. In fact, they call him our beloved friend, our dear friend, when Paul reports back to them in Acts chapter 15 and in Acts chapter 21. So the Muslims like to make the claim that it was Paul who came on later and contradicted the message of Jesus and his disciples. However, if we want to know what Jesus preached, the first people we go to are the people who were next to him, which included Peter and James. And both Peter and James both accepted the legitimacy of the Apostle Paul. So we can therefore conclude what the Apostle Paul taught and preached is also what Peter and James believed in, and they believed that is what Jesus actually said. So I honestly don't know where this attack on the Apostle Paul comes from, when some of our earliest, most reliable New Testament record both speak positively about him by the disciples of Jesus himself.
Yeah.
You said legitimacy. Who's legitimizing him?
You know what? To add to what you just said, yeah, like I said, Paul's writings were hard to understand, and a lot of people were getting confused. So he was summoned back to Jerusalem. You know what I mean? And at the time, he didn't know whether he was gonna live or die. You get me? And when he went back there and explained his doctrine, yeah, they understood and they praised him. You get me? So, like you said, James and the elders understood Paul's doctrine in Jerusalem. So when these Muslims, like, I don't know what they're talking about. Like I said, if we understand one thing that Paul says, make it be this, yeah. Romans 3:31. Do we then make void the law through faith? God forbid. Yeah, we established the law. So don't get confused on anything else that it says, basically.
So, right, I want to quote to you Galatians chapter 1, verse 18 to 20. And it says, after 3 years, I went to Jerusalem to visit Cephas, which translates to Peter, and remained with him for 15 days. But I saw none of the other apostles except James, the Lord's brother. So we have testimony from the Apostle Paul himself that he knew from first-hand eyewitness accounts. He knew the Apostle James, who was the biological half-brother of Jesus, and he also knew his best friend Peter. And so my question is, if Muslims are trying to put Paul against the disciples of Jesus, why did the disciples of Jesus accept Paul in the first place if he was teaching this blasphemous claim that Jesus was God incarnate who came and died for the sins of mankind? It doesn't add up. The only way it adds up if we say that the Apostle Peter and the Apostle James accepted the teachings of the blessed Apostle Paul. And so I don't think that we need to make the claim that there was any kind of beef between the early apostles of the first century.
That's a good point still.
I don't know if it's a fact that James agreed with Paul's teachings. In fact, I believe the Acts testimony points towards a calling towards the Jerusalem church by James of Paul in order to answer for the claim, and I quote, that he's preaching against the law.
Yo,
how is he preaching against the law? Like, I just explained to you that is,
bro. Sorry.
No, I'm talking to him.
sorry, what the brother was referring to was in Acts 21. However, what he fails to mention is the things that people criticize the Apostle Paul. James and Peter both defended the Apostle Paul from the allegations made against him. So it's not that
1 second.
So it's not that Peter and James were saying, oh, look what Paul, look what you're doing. In fact, they were defending him from the allegations that people made against him. So again, there's literally not any consistent evidence that shows that there was any kind of beef between the biological half-brother of Jesus and his best friend Peter with the Apostle Paul.
You know what? You're gonna have to deal with this contention now. What is the covenant signed in? It's not a trick question. What's the covenant signed in?
All right, and look, 21 and 13, yeah. And this is Paul it's talking about, and he would not be persuaded. We ceased, saying, the will of the Lord will be done. And after those days, we took up our carriages and went to Jerusalem. There went with us also certain of the disciples of Caesarea, and brought with them Menton of Cyprus, an old disciple with whom we should lodge. And when we came to Jerusalem, the brethren received us gladly.
Hello?
And the day after, and the day following, Paul went with us unto James, and all the elders were present. And when we had saluted them, he declared particularly what things God had wrought among the Gentiles by his ministry. And when they heard it, they glorified the Lord and said unto him, thou seest, brother, how many thousands of Jews are there which have believed and are all zealous of the law. So what are you talking about?
I'm talking about Genesis 17:14. The covenant being signed in blood and the sign of it being circumcision.
Yeah.
For Abraham and his followers. Now and then I'm talking about the fact that Yeshua and James are both adherents to that. Now Paul, being the Hellenized Greek that he was obviously, I don't know whether he was circumcised or not. Obviously, let's just say for argument's sake he was circumcised and take his word for it. His followers certainly were not circumcised. So the problem and why he's really being called out, Paul, that is.
What do you mean?
The problem that he's got, I'm saying the relevancy is the fact that he's preaching to the Gentiles. Paul's ministry is to the Gentiles. And so the issue comes up when the fact that all of these Gentiles are, as the name suggests, uncircumcised. Isn't it? So if they're big men walking around uncircumcised, they're not going to accept circumcision, even if James persists on the point and emphasizes the point that it's important to mark they're entering into the Israelite tradition.
Of course it is, but guess what? Yeah, Paul was writing to people that had been taken into slavery. Yeah, and like Christ told them to go to the last sheep. So these people don't know they're Israelites that he's writing to. You know, a lot of them don't know who they are. So guess what? If you don't know you're supposed to have a circumcision, you're not going to have one, are you?
It's not about that. That's true. But it's not about that.
So
I'm saying that
babies, babies. Listen. Israelite babies are supposed to be circumcised on the 8th day. So if you've gone 30 years of your life not knowing you're an Israelite, and then you get told the gospel, like you've already grown up in sin, innit? That's what he's saying, innit? That's the problem. You've already grown up in sin. You've missed the 8th day. Yeah, that's the problem. But guess what? When you have babies, you keep the law of the Torah. That's why he tells them, establish the law. Just understand what he's saying.
Do you know what, family? We may just have to continue this a little bit later on. Yeah? Or you lot say.
All right.
Because we've gone over the 2-hour mark already, yeah? I believe. I'm saying that it's gone over the 2-hour mark. And you know, we can just continue a little bit later on. You know, we can kind of speak in the back of this chat. formulate some ideas of how we're going to push forward. We could organize it correctly, and then you know, we can drop some information to the family out there. And family, it's funny. If I don't tell you not to like the thing, yeah, you don't like it, do you? 86 likes. God damn. I don't know what's wrong with you guys. But anyways, yeah, family, okay, we're looking to close down the show right now. Let us know if you want to have some more or see some more. Ex-Muslim, you want to debate me on Friday or not, bro? Jeez, man, like Saracen, you're presumptuous, bro. I'm gonna let my Friday is free. Hey, all right. So this is what we're gonna do, yeah. If you guys would like to come on, I'm gonna post the link here. So hopefully, usually after the show is finished, you guys the link usually opens up where you can come on. If you can't come on via the link that I posted, literally go down below in the description box and you should see the link. If you can't see the link already, let me just mute your mic because that feedback is terrible. If you can't see the link, all you have to do is refresh. Okay, refresh. Okay. Whew, man, I said broke the like button, you know, and I see 99 likes just whoop, just flying up. Yo, it would be nice to see that 100th like. Let's see if we can see that 100th like. Can we do it? Can we do it? Can we do it? Jeez, we did it. Well done. Well done, family. We did it. We got to 100 in the show. Let's see if we could do that for every show. All right. So what I'm going to do right now, yeah, is close down this show. Okay. I'm going to close down this show. Hopefully, yeah. And I'm going to say the famous words that a lot of people hate to hear, yeah. I'm going to say, inshallah. Okay. Inshallah.
Inshallah.
To continue this show. Okay. Or a second part of this show. But I'm going to close it down in a hot second. All right, I just want to make sure that everybody has their last minute say. Ex-Muslim and Pride, I've seen that you've unmuted your mic. What did you want to say?
I'm talking about Saracen on this Friday if you want to do.
All right, when we come off here, we'll discuss that. I'll just put your mic on mute. Ezra, did you want to say anything before we close down this section? No? All right, Gabs, how about you?
I'm good. Just saying, peace to the family, peace to everyone in the panel, and you know, it was a good show. Cool.
All right, man. What we saying? Litigating. Is that my brother Kumba? Are you there? All right. What's about Rich Kid? Anything that you want to say? Terry, anything you want to say? The Beast.
Just stop.
Okay. I don't know what's happening there. Rich Kid. No? All right. The Beast.
Yeah, I want to say something.
Go ahead. Rich Kid, your mic ain't working. Just letting you know.
I wanted to answer Gab's question about giants. I'm just wondering, do you mean human giants or like other creation of God that's giants?
All right, we'll discuss that off air. We're going to discuss that off air.
All right.
Hold tight. Just stay there. We might put up another show afterwards. Yusuf, did you want to say anything?
Nah, not really. It's just been good, like listening to the whole thing. It's great.
Excellent. Ziryab, any last minute words before we close down the show?
Peace.
All right, perfect. So yeah, family, we're going to close down the show right about now. We're going to discuss behind the scenes on how or if we're going to put on another secondary show to this one and see how we're going to push forward. So please, family, if you lot are tuned in now, I know we have over 100 people tuned in right now. What I'm going to ask you guys to do, support Titans TV, baby, support us. But what I'm going to ask you guys to do, is literally do me a great big favor and stay on the channel somehow. Stay on the channel somehow, or press the notification button if you haven't already subscribed. If you have already subscribed, hit the subscribe button, then hit the notification button, because hopefully the show will be coming on again. All right. Ezra, your battery died.
Do you know when it will come on?
You're still on here right now, unfortunately, I think. Is it still showing that he's on here? Yeah, and if I eject you out of the chat, it might be ejecting you out for good. But I'm going to have to eject you. Let me do that. Apologies if you can't come back in again. But yeah, we're closing down the show right now. Anybody who likes to join us, literally go down below and you will see the link in the description box, okay? So peace and love. I'm signing out. I see you guys on the other side.